Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this episode of Newegg Now, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the MSI Optix MAG301CR curved gaming monitor. Thank you to everybody at Newegg for sponsoring this video. If you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about it, be sure to click that link in the video description below. You can see how it comes packaged to you right here. Very nice retail box, 30-inch curved gaming monitor. So this is wide full HD with a resolution of 2560 by 1080, 200 Hz, and 1 millisecond response time. Now let's go ahead, let's open it up and look at the package contents. So here's some of the package contents. First up, we have a warranty card and a thank you card from MSI. We also have our quick start guide right here walking us through step by step how to set everything up. They also have a QR code on the back you can scan. Then you can see all the different cables that we have right here. We have our power supply cables. We have our USB cable, DisplayPort, and HDMI. Then you can see we have some screws right here to assemble the monitor in the stand. So you can see the nice base and our mount arm right here. Now let's go ahead, let's look at the monitor itself. Now you can see the monitor itself right here. We have that 30-inch screen, 21:9 aspect ratio with a nice gentle curve. You can see the curve right there as we rotate the monitor to get a feel for the curvature of the screen. We can look at it from the back side as well too. You can see we have a red menu and navigation button. We have the MSI logo and branding. On the other side, we have our Kensington security lock. We can also flip it upside down so you can see we have our audio, USB Type-C, 2 HDMI ports, DisplayPort, 2 USB ports, our USB in, and our DC power plug right there. If you want to use the HDMI, they're HDMI 2.0 ports. And then with DisplayPort, we have a 1.2. To get that 200 Hertz refresh rate, you will need to use either the DisplayPort or the USB Type-C ports. You can get 144 Hertz using the 2 HDMI 2.0 ports, so just keep that in mind. 144 Hertz for the 2 HDMI 2.0 ports. If you want 200 Hertz, you gotta use the DisplayPort 1.2 or the USB Type-C port. Don't forget though, we have USB that we can also add our keyboard and mouse directly to the monitor, which is really a nice feature to have right there. Now let's go ahead, let's get the stand installed. So to assemble the stand, you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver and the 3 screws that are included with the monitor. Then you can see we have our 2 pieces right here. It's just going to go right on just like that, and we're going to fasten it at the bottom with the included screws. So there you go. You can see where we're going to insert those 3 screws and tighten them down with our Phillips head screwdriver. So there we go. We have our 3 screws tightened down and secured in place. Now you can see it stands on its own. It's not going to wobble or anything like that. And we're ready to attach the monitor to it. So you can see in the back of the monitor how we're going to attach the stand right here. We're going to slide it right in place. You can see the 3 metal brackets that we have that we need to line up. So keep it aligned at a slight angle and then just kind of push it down in place. You can also push the lever on the back as well too to give you that extra room to get it in place. Now you can see we have it securely in place right here. So we're ready to stand the monitor up. And then you can see here's our lowest height adjustment in setting, and that's the tilt. So we can't tilt it any further down than this, but we can tilt it pretty far up. Now the stand just adjusts the height just by pushing on the monitor under its own weight and tension. It keeps it in place. So same thing. That's our tilt all the way down, and then we can tilt it all the way up. Now we can push it to the top. That's our maximum height setting with this stand right here, and you can see what that's like. Tilt it all the way down and tilt it all the way up right there. Keep in mind, with this base, what's really cool, we can actually rotate it 30 degrees to the right and to the left right here. So obviously I'm doing it from the base, but you could just grab the monitor and position it how you want. So I really like that swivel base design right there, pretty cool. We could also get it to portrait mode. If you don't want landscape viewing, we can actually rotate it 90 degrees to portrait mode right here. So check that out. There we go. We have it in portrait mode, so you could use it that way if you want. For a really long spreadsheet or something along those lines, you could do that right there. Just adjust the tilt accordingly to be able to set it to that viewing angle. But there you go, guys. You can see what it's like with the included stand. A lot of flexibility and freedom we have with the stand that's included to give us that adjustable height, adjustable tilt, and we can rotate it to the left and to the right, and we can change our viewing angle from landscape to portrait if we desire. Now you can see we got the monitor powered on right here, and the widescreen looks fantastic. First, let's go ahead, let's push the menu button to bring up the menu. You can see we're in the gaming tab. We have game mode, all the different profiles. We'll cycle through them depending on the look you're going after or the type of game you're playing. Then we have night vision, response time, anti-motion blur, refresh rate, alarm clock, screen assistance. Then we have FreeSync. Now we can look at professional, pro mode, all the different profiles again. So we'll cycle through them. Now you can see we have eye saver, HDCR, anti-motion blur, image enhancement. Then we can look at the image tab. We have our brightness, contrast, sharpness, color temp, screen size. We can adjust the aspect ratio. We can select our input source. Our Navi key, we can change the shortcuts on the navigation key. You can see the options for up, for down, left, and right. And then we can look at our settings. You can see our languages, transparency, OSD timeout, RGB LEDs, power button, and then we have our information on screen, reset, and our Type-C switch. So that's a brief look at the menu settings. Now you can see within Windows 10 our display settings, so it was able to correctly identify the monitor. You can see the resolution 2560 by 1080 and the 200 Hz refresh rate. Now let's look at that 200 Hz refresh rate in more detail. So now you can see the results of our 200 Hz monitor with this motion blurring test and the difference between 50 FPS, 100 FPS, and 200 FPS. And now you can see the same test again with the lights off, so you can get a feel for how everything looks at 50, 100, and 200. Now we're gonna test out the viewing angles of this monitor, so let's go ahead, let's rotate it. So you guys can see what it's like to view it from an angle. There we go. And now let's bring it back. So you can get a feel for the viewing angle right here. Let's go ahead, let's do that again with the lights off. So here we go again, we're gonna rotate the monitor. So you can see what it's like to view from an angle. There we go, and we're almost all the way. There we go, perpendicular with the camera. Now let's bring it back into view. So you can see what that's like and the viewing angles you can expect with this monitor. Really quick, I wanted to show you guys the RGB light on the back of the monitor. It looks so cool. It might be flickering in the video that you're watching, but it's not flickering in real life. It's just going through a nice, smooth, slow transition between all the RGB colors in a circular motion. It's really nice. Great fade transition between all the colors. It's really a solid light on the back. I actually wish I could take more advantage of this light, but with my setup, I won't really be able to see it or appreciate it, but I really like having that built-in light on the back. So I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like with HDR turned on. You can see some footage right here. Really, really nice picture quality. Now we can go ahead, we can pull up the menu settings. Let's change it from HDR to one of my favorites. I really like Cinema. I think Cinema looks great. This also has HDCR turned on, so we get some really nice contrasts with the Cinema mode. Stunning picture quality. Really happy with the screen size too. Everything looks really nice. You can really tweak this to whatever profile your eyes like best. So first up, we're playing some Fortnite, and you can see how it looks with this monitor. Very nice. Currently, we're getting really close to 200 FPS. With medium settings enabled, it will fluctuate as we get more gameplay. It will drop down probably that 150, 160, 170 range consistently. But you can see we're also in the high 190s. Medium settings, we're using an RTX 2080 with an Intel i9 9900K. Obviously, the results will vary depending on your gaming PC setup or console that you're using, and then the graphics settings that you choose within Fortnite as well. So again, we got medium settings right here with that RTX 2080. And you can see the top left-hand corner. We're in the 190s with our FPS. Now we're back at 200. Got him. Ah. Now you can see we're on the high preset and how everything looks with the monitor. So I'm really liking the widescreen on here. Very nice. Tons of real estate. We can see so much of the game. And what do you know? Must be because of the monitor. We got a victory royale. Now I wanted you guys to see how it looks with the epic settings enabled. And right now we're currently still pushing out over 120 FPS. Those graphics look so nice with the epic settings enabled. Not gonna hit 200 with our system, but it still looks really nice with those graphic settings and nice smooth gameplay and footage. Got him. Got him. So now you can see I'm playing some Warzone. You can see how the graphics look. We're getting around 160 FPS right now. We've tried to cut back on some of the graphic settings to push that frame rate higher.
Next objective located. Heading this way. Heading this way.
So overall, guys, my final thoughts about this monitor are as follows. This is a solid entry-level choice. If you're in the market for a 30-inch full HD curved gaming monitor, you're definitely gonna wanna check this monitor out. Here's what I really like about it. One, I think the design is great. Nothing wrong with it. Very happy with it aesthetically. I like the slim bezels along the sides and at the top. I like the RGB lighting on the back. I do wish we had some RGB lighting on the front too. I'd like to be able to see more of it, since with my setup, that's not gonna be very visible, unfortunately, but maybe your setup is a little bit different. In regards to gaming, I'm happy that we get 200 Hertz for our refresh rate, but keep in mind, you're gonna have to dial back a lot of your settings, or you're gonna have a really beastly computer setup, and then you don't have to worry about any sort of graphics compromises to actually push out the 200 FPS, especially at 2560 by 1080 for the resolution. In regard to content creation, here's what I really like about this monitor. One, the fact that it's got a wide screen, right? Very nice for video editing, to stretch out your timeline, but just to all have it on one screen. Same could be said for photo editing and any sort of workflows along those lines. Even for word processing, like Microsoft Word, or using Microsoft Excel or Google Docs or something like that, Google Sheets, you're able to have so much screen real estate, especially if you're doing some spreadsheets and you want to turn this to portrait mode. You'll be very happy. And don't forget, we have 2 USB ports. That'll work great for gaming if you want to plug in your keyboard and mouse, or for content creation, you want to plug in a hard drive, your keyboard and mouse, charge your phone, anything along those lines. You can do it with the included USB 3.0 ports. Now, I do want to point out, it wasn't fast charging or anything like that for my phone, but it does charge, and I was able to plug in an SSD and actually transfer data from it to the computer. So very functional to have those additional 2 USB ports. So really happy with that for content creation. And again, solid choice for gaming if you game at 1080 or less, and you maybe make some of those graphic compromises if you want to push out the higher refresh rate, if that's something that's important to you. So lastly, I want to share with you guys 3 things I'd like to see changed or improved in the future. The first one is the most important, and it's the resolution. I really wish this was 1440p instead of 1080. Having that additional resolution would make the viewing experience that much more enjoyable, especially if you're getting up close to your content and you want that immersive feel, which a curved widescreen monitor gives you in and of itself. It would be that much better with higher resolution. The second thing is the monitor brightness. I wish this monitor could get a little bit brighter. I say this all the time, but I would rather have a monitor be too bright and I have to turn it down than not bright enough. And the third thing I'd like to see is built-in speakers. Just like the brightness argument that I make, I would rather have built-in speakers and not need them than need to have the built-in speakers and not have them. Well, that concludes our video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, the product link will be in our video description below. Please go ahead, check it out, and do your shopping from there. Any purchase made through that link helps support our channel at no additional cost to you. So we're really grateful and thankful for all of your support. While you're at it, can you go ahead and hit that like button for us? And subscribe to our channel. We have new content coming out daily, and we don't want you to miss anything. Please go ahead and give us a follow online and make it a clean sweep. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, Discord. You can message us on WeChat, check out our website, and join our free newsletter. Thank you guys so much for being here. Don't forget, new content daily, and we can't wait to see you in our next video.